When it comes to cannabis, it's never that simple. Regular cannabis users are going to be able to consume significantly more cannabis without being impaired. Less regular cannabis users are going to get impaired from very low levels of exposure in ways that could be dangerous if they hit the roads right away. And different states legally have dealt with those scientific problems by trying different laws. Some have tried to have a certain amount of cannabis in your system as a marker that you're impaired, but those don't seem to be as accurate or valuable. Some states have adopted a per se approach that if you have any cannabis in your system at all, that serves as a problem. The problem there is cannabis can stay in your system, unlike alcohol, for days, sometimes weeks after you've consumed, and you're clearly not impaired after a very long period of time. The flip of that, of course, is you're growing at home. It's accessible to people without the controls that we've put in place with regulations. So there's, I think, justifiable concerns. How about kids in the household having access to these drugs? How about neighborhood kids? Would there be concerns if it's well known that somebody down the block is home growing regularly, that there might attract crime, or there could be some other negative effects in the community if home grow is being allowed? What we've seen is the biggest problem over time, and different states have approached home grow differently across the nation. The biggest concern that law enforcement expresses is people using home grow as really as an excuse to do illicit grows to evade the legal market. So the thought is, and the worry, and the police suggest that this is a serious concern in some jurisdictions, is people will grow way over their allowed limit in their home. They're going to produce it and sell it to their neighbors or otherwise be in the illicit market. And that's the problem, is it's hard to then enforce against growth in the home if there is some home grow allowance, and a person could say, oh, I thought I was allowed to have this many plants, or they hide the evidence if they think there's some law enforcement investigation. What the federal government has said is they're going to kind of respect states having their own individual laws, and so they're not going to enforce intrastate cannabis purchasing and moving, but they say they will still be concerned about interstate cannabis transportation. Now, what they're really saying, and what I think is important for individuals to know, is if somebody decides to go buy as much cannabis as they can with a team of people, put it in a truck and drive it to Indiana, that's going to get the Fed's attention. But not only do I not expect an individual who were to drive from Indiana or Kentucky up to Ohio for the day, purchase some, and then bring some home, they're not going to get the attention of federal law enforcement. To some extent, cannabis states have not only profited on a certain kind of pot tourism, but depended on the reality that people aren't going to get prosecuted simply for taking a small amount over state lines, even though that's technically federally illegal.